Before I built a six-figure Airbnb business, I made a ton of mistakes. I didn't have a mentor, no roadmap. I just started figuring it out deal by deal. And looking back, if I knew these 5 lessons from the beginning, I would have scaled way faster, saved myself thousands of dollars, and avoided a ton of stress. So in this video, I'm breaking down 5 things that I wish I knew somebody told me before I ever signed that first lease. If you're just getting started or you're a few units in and looking to grow, this is gonna save you months of trial and error and thousands of dollars. Lesson number 1, cash flow beats ownership. All right, first big lesson. Everybody out there pushes ownership, buy a property, build equity, yada, yada. And yeah, I love real estate. I've bought and flipped properties, I've owned rentals. But here's the truth, when you're starting out, cash flow is king. My first real breakthrough came when I stopped trying to buy everything and started renting properties and then re-renting them on Airbnb. It's referred to as Airbnb arbitrage. I controlled the asset, but I didn't have to buy it. No 20% down, no mortgage, no waiting for appreciation. I scaled way faster this way. I went from 1 to 3 to 10 units without owning a single one. And those units started paying me every single month. Ownership is great when your cash flow is strong, but early on, control over ownership. Cash flow gives you freedom, freedom of location, freedom of time, freedom to travel wherever you want, experience whatever you want, not have to clock into a job, and spend time with family and all that good stuff. And then when you have an influx of cash flow coming in, of course you can build a nest egg and invest in generational wealth for the future. That's why you buy property for the tax advantages. That's why you invest in your retirement accounts, your Roth IRA, your solo 401k, put some things in private equity. Because at first I thought I was building generational wealth by buying rentals and investing in my retirement accounts. And then I realized that by the time I could actually use the money, I'd be way too old to enjoy it. And I would have wasted all my good years just grinding away for some other boss, missing my son's special moments. So I figured if I could just rent the properties, build a business, something sustainable where I can make an influx of money today so I can enjoy my life today with the freedom to spend time with my family and never miss my son's moments, and then the extra capital I can invest for generational wealth. In which, by the way, with the business we run, we're able to invest a whole lot more money into those long-term appreciating assets and tax advantaged and tax leveraged assets than I was before. Before in a normal job, I was saving every dime I could, living way below my means, and only investing $1,000 a month. Now that I'm running this business, my influx cash flow, I'm able to invest anywhere from $10,000 to $15,000 a month into those long-term generational wealth building assets. All right, number 2, the market doesn't matter as much as the execution. This one took me a really long time to understand. You don't need the perfect market. I used to get stuck overthinking cities, zip codes, regulations, and seasonality. Yeah, you want a solid market, you want demand, but I've seen people succeed in small towns, big cities, vacation areas, and fail in all of those too. The truth is, it's not just about the market, it's how well you execute within that market. The property type you choose, the amenities you offer, the design, the photos, pricing strategy, the way you communicate with your guests, all of that matters way more than trying to find some magical city that guarantees bookings. I've made way more money on an average unit in a decent area that's well set up than a similar luxury property in a prime location with bad photos and no systems. Don't chase markets, you need to build systems instead. Number 3, design will print money. This one right here is an absolute cheat code. When I started, I used basic furniture, cheap Amazon stuff, minimal decor. I thought if it's clean and functional, it'll book. Maybe that worked when I started in 2021, but in 2025, nope. It might get booked, but not for much money and definitely not consistently. So way back then, I tested something. I added a neon sign, a bold accent wall, some disco balls, a cowgirl themed makeup room, and boom, all of a sudden my listing started blowing up. I was competing with other hosts on price before that. Now I was standing out completely. I stopped being the cheap option and became the Instagrammable option. And I started charging more per night and getting much better guests. I tell my students this all the time. Design is not a cost. It's a marketing expense. And it has the highest ROI, return on investment. You're not just selling a place to sleep, you're selling a vibe, a memory, a moment, and an experience. The most booked Airbnbs don't just look good, they photograph great. So when people are scrolling through Airbnbs, yours needs to stand out instantly. You need to invest in the look, hire a designer, get pro photos, it'll pay you every single month. Lesson number 4, you need to automate or die. This one's huge, especially if you value time like I do, and everybody should. When I started out, I did everything manually, every guest message, every pricing update, every cleaner schedule, all by hand. And it worked until it didn't. I was glued to my phone, constantly putting out fires. At 3 units, I was drowning, I had no life. That's when I learned about automation. Now I use Hospitable to message guests automatically, Price Labs to adjust pricing daily based on demand and seasonality, Turno to auto schedule cleaners after every checkout, and a team of virtual assistants to help with anything that's still manual. With just these tools, I was able to go from working 30 plus hours a week to managing 16 units in really under 5 hours a week. That's the real flex. It's not, oh, I run Airbnbs. It's my Airbnbs run without me. Seriously, guys, if your business depends on you 24/7, you don't have a business. You have a job. You need to systemize early. Trust me. Lesson number 5, you're selling an experience, not just a bed. This one's really more mindset than a tactic, but it seriously is a game changer. Most hosts are thinking, how many people can I sleep? How cheap can I furnish this place? But that's short-term thinking. Most new hosts are thinking, how many people can I sleep? How cheap can I furnish this place? But that really is short-term thinking. The best hosts are usually asking, what's the experience I'm offering? People aren't going on Airbnb to save money. They go there to feel something. They want a fun bachelorette weekend, a relaxing getaway, a work from home reset, and if your listing delivers that vibe, they'll pay more, leave better reviews, and come back. That's why we started adding amenities like hot tubs, game rooms, fire pits, projectors, theme walls, and photo ops. We have many listings that the theme alone makes it book out months and even years in advance. We have bachelorette places, Disney places, and then all of our places that aren't necessarily over-themed have really cool, fun, and interesting designs with accent walls. We have listings where theme alone makes it book out months and even years in advance. The lesson here is you need to create a place that people want to brag about, post on their Instagram. That's what gets you ranked. That's what gets you booked. You're not in real estate, you're in hospitality. And once I started thinking like that, my entire business leveled up. So yeah, these are 5 lessons I wish I knew earlier. If I had a video like this before I started, I would have saved me so much money, so much time, so much trial and error. And that's exactly why I started mentoring people, because I know how confusing this can feel in the beginning, how overwhelming it is to figure out markets, pitch landlords, get set up, automate, all of it. But you don't have to do it alone. If you want my help, I do offer one-on-one mentorship where I walk you through every step from picking your market, finding the deal, building a system that runs without you, and even hiring out your team of virtual assistants and cleaners. If that's something you're serious about, just DM me on Instagram or grab my free guidebook below. I'll show you the exact steps I took to go from $0 to $100,000 a month in just 2 years. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you found this helpful. Drop a comment if you're on your Airbnb journey. I'd love to hear from you. See you in the next one.